Most dog owners never expect diapers to become part of their dog's life. When people imagine dog care, they think about food, walks, toys, grooming, maybe training. But diapers? That feels strange at first. Some people even feel embarrassed by the idea. Others assume diapers are only for very old dogs or extreme situations. But what most owners don't realize is that dog diapers are connected to something much deeper than convenience. Sometimes they become part of comfort, hygiene, emotional security, recovery, and quality of life in ways many people never think about until they suddenly need them. And the truth is, the moment many owners first consider using a diaper is usually stressful. Maybe their dog suddenly starts having accidents inside the house. Maybe there's urine leaking during sleep. Maybe the dog recently had surgery. Maybe there's anxiety-related marking behavior. Maybe age is starting to affect bladder control. Whatever the reason, owners often feel confused at first because the change seems unexpected. One day, everything feels normal. Then suddenly there's a small accident on the floor. Then another. Then another. At first, people assume it's temporary. Maybe the dog drank too much water. Maybe they got overly excited. Maybe they simply couldn't hold it long enough. But when the pattern continues, something emotional starts happening inside the owner's mind. Concern, frustration, worry, confusion. And what makes this situation difficult is that many dogs continue acting completely normal while these accidents start happening. They still wag their tail. They still eat. They still play. Which makes owners question whether something serious is actually happening or not. But accidents are not always about training problems. Sometimes they are connected to physical changes inside the body that develop slowly over time. Older dogs especially may begin losing bladder control gradually. Not dramatically. Quietly. Small leaks during naps. Tiny wet spots where they were lying down. Occasional accidents during deep sleep. And because these changes happen slowly, owners sometimes don't recognize the pattern immediately. Some dogs even seem embarrassed afterward, which is heartbreaking to watch because dogs often sense changes in their owner's reactions emotionally. They notice stress, frustration, tone of voice, body language, and many owners unintentionally create emotional tension around accidents without realizing it. That's why diapers can become emotionally helpful in certain situations, not just physically helpful. Because once constant accidents stop creating stress inside the home, both the owner and the dog often relax emotionally. But there's another major reason diapers are used that many people don't talk about enough. Female dogs and heat. This surprises first-time dog owners constantly. One day their dog suddenly begins leaving small spots around the house, on furniture, bedding, and floors. The owner panics because they weren't prepared for it. And while heat cycles are completely natural, managing them inside a home environment can feel overwhelming initially. That's where diapers often become part of maintaining hygiene and reducing stress for everyone involved. But even then, many people misunderstand how diapers should actually be used. Because diapers are not meant to replace proper care or bathroom routines. And this is where some owners accidentally create bigger problems without realizing it. One of the most common mistakes is leaving diapers on for too long. At first it seems convenient. The floor stays clean. The house smells better. Everything feels easier. But moisture trapped against the skin for long periods creates an entirely new problem. Warmth, moisture, limited airflow, exactly the kind of environment irritation and bacteria love. And because fur hides the skin underneath, early irritation often goes unnoticed until redness, odor, licking, or discomfort suddenly appear later. Dogs may begin licking themselves more frequently, scooting, acting restless, trying to remove the diaper repeatedly. These are often signs the skin feels uncomfortable. And unfortunately, many owners mistake these reactions for bad behavior instead of understanding the physical discomfort underneath. Fit is another huge issue most people underestimate. A diaper that's too tight creates pressure and friction. A diaper that's too loose leaks constantly and rubs against the fur awkwardly. Some dogs freeze completely the first time they wear one because the sensation feels unfamiliar and strange. And that reaction is important emotionally too. Dogs rely heavily on body freedom and movement. Something wrapped around their waist changes how they experience movement temporarily. Some adapt quickly. Others become anxious, stiff, or confused. This is why introducing diapers calmly matters so much. Dogs watch human reactions constantly. If the owner acts stressed, frustrated, or nervous during the process, the dog often becomes more uncomfortable too. But if the owner stays calm, reassuring, and patient, many dogs adjust surprisingly well over time. And then there's the emotional side many people never expect. Some owners feel guilty when their dog needs diapers regularly, especially with older dogs. Because diapers sometimes symbolize aging in a way that feels emotionally difficult to accept. They become visible reminders that the dog's body is changing. But here's what many people eventually realize. Using diapers appropriately is not giving up on a dog. Sometimes it's the exact opposite. Sometimes it's an act of care that protects dignity, cleanliness, comfort, and emotional peace for both the dog and the family. Especially during medical recovery. Dogs recovering from surgeries, injuries, or mobility issues may temporarily lose normal bathroom control. In those situations, diapers can reduce stress dramatically while the body heals. But hygiene becomes even more important during recovery because sensitive skin combined with moisture increases the risk of irritation quickly. That's why cleaning routines matter so much. The diaper itself is only one part of the process. Skin care, dryness, airflow, frequent changes, monitoring redness. All of these things matter equally. And there's another hidden issue many owners overlook completely. Odor. If a diaper begins developing strong odor unusually fast, that can sometimes signal something deeper happening underneath. Infection, skin imbalance, urinary problems, moisture buildup, changes in urine concentration. Dogs often show subtle warning signs through smell long before visible symptoms appear, which means simply masking odor without paying attention to it can delay recognizing a larger issue. And this same pattern happens often with male dogs that mark indoors due to anxiety or stress. Belly bands are commonly used to help manage marking behavior, but many owners assume the band itself solves the problem permanently. It doesn't. It manages the symptom. The emotional cause still matters. Stress, routine changes, insecurity, environmental triggers, new animals, new people, anxiety. All of these things can influence indoor marking behavior. And if the emotional cause isn't addressed, the behavior may continue underneath the surface even while the diaper temporarily contains the mess. But there's one thing almost nobody talks about when it comes to dog diapers. Something surprisingly emotional. Many dogs become incredibly vulnerable emotionally during periods when they need extra care. They may seek more reassurance, more closeness, more comfort, more patience. Because dogs notice when their routines change. They notice when their bodies feel different. And even if they don't fully understand what's happening, they absolutely sense the emotional energy around them. That's why kindness matters so much during these moments. Your reaction becomes part of their emotional experience. The calmness in your voice, the patience during cleaning, the reassurance after accidents, the gentleness while helping them. Dogs remember emotional patterns deeply, and sometimes the way owners respond during difficult periods strengthens the emotional bond more than during easy times. But there's one mistake many dog owners make with diapers that can quietly create long-term discomfort without obvious signs at first, and most people don't realize it until the dog's behavior starts changing in subtle ways. Once you understand this mistake, you'll never look at dog diapers the same way again. And that's exactly what we're going to reveal in the next video. So if you made it this far, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments, has your dog ever needed diapers or special hygiene care before?